I'm Lucy Wright.
Hi everyone, I'm Pierre Pottier.
We represent Invoke, and today we're going to illustrate an ESEF use case.
So let's start with a fact. ESEF is not fun, ESEF is an obligation, ESEF is complicated. That is basically when an issuer is thinking about an ESEF submission. From one year to another, an issuer is going to need to understand what has changed since last year concerning the taxonomy, best practices, etc. to understand this new obligation and make them fit with their financial statements and report that could have changed also. Today we are going to focus on these challenges and the way we can help an issuer facing it.
So here's the question: how can we ensure a smooth transition for issuers? Let's take the example of an issuer who has made a voluntary submission in 2019. Will the issuer have to start again from zero for their next submission?
Well, we have decided to give them the possibility to reuse all the work they have done the year before and to capitalize on it in order to save time. And today we are going to show you how an issuer can update the taxonomy they use, how they can adapt mapping to structural changes in their financial statements, how to anticipate the use of new IFRS concepts that are not included yet in the ESEF taxonomy, and how to block tag nodes. So let's look at their work from last year. They have a complete mapping of the 2020 financial statement with the right tags, with primary elements, extensions if needed, and the calculation all reviewed by their auditor. But they have worked with the 2019 taxonomy, so they will have to transition to the 2020 taxonomy. So let's export the data from the current environment. And let's create a new environment importing 2020's data and switching from the 2019 ESEF taxonomy to the 2020 ESEF taxonomy. And save it. Now that we have this environment with data from last year, we have to upload our new financial statements. Let's do it using the 2021 report and include the financial statements. Let's imagine that they have modified their financial statements. Our issuer changed some label in the P&L. For instance, they modified the sales label row. Now the label is revenue. They added some new rows in order to have a better presentation. So they have removed the other income and expenses row and added two new rows that are miscellaneous other operating income and interest expense defined benefit plan. So how can we manage these changes? Well, they just have to upload the new document in our environment. The PDF will be automatically converted in the HTML format when it is uploaded in the tool. The issuer just has to indicate where the P&L is in the document and assign it to the right mapping. Once uploaded, the tool is clearly showing the differences between the statement from last year and the new statement coming from the uploaded PDF, as you can see here. When you are passing over the rows of the current statement, the tool is showing you the corresponding row in the new uploaded financial statement. If the tool recognizes some elements but the amount or the text has changed, it is highlighted in yellow. So it is also a good way to double check if the previous year column is right and to check if last year data's rolled forward is fine. Red indicates what has disappeared, green indicates what has been added. If something has changed and they want to indicate it, that this row can be reconciliated with last year's report, they can click on both rows, click on match, and the tool will recognize the row that have been selected with the previous year tagging. For the rest of the highlighted differences, everything is fine. So let's go to the mapping and tag the new informations. They have two new rows and one new column. Let's give a context to our column, adding reporting dates, adding scale, format, etc. And let's find tags for our two new rows. The first row is quite easy because there is already a primary element in the 2020 taxonomy that corresponds to its label. The second one is more tricky because the issuer wants to use an IFRS concept that is not available yet in the 2020 ESEF taxonomy. but that will be available in the 2021 ESEF taxonomy. A good way to anticipate would be to create an extension with the 2021 ESEF taxonomy label. This is the reason why we have integrated in the tool the upcoming IFRS concept, which give access to these IFRS concepts that have been pre-configured as extension in the tool. So if we have selected this concept, the row is matched with an extension, and this extension will be automatically transformed into a primary element when we will transition from Taxonomy 2020 to Taxonomy 2021. So it is a good way to anticipate the next year term version. Finally, we can add bolt-on tags and block tags. So we have to select the zone we want to tag and the tag we want to use. We can select an entire page or paragraph, we can double tag, we can have everything we need to do it well.
And what about 2022, for instance? Will the issuer need to block tag his whole report again when transitioning from one year to another?
Well, as we know, some notes may change a lot from a year to another, and other notes don't. So we have to help the issuer make the transition without having to start the block tagging from scratch again. That is the challenge of 2022. Same thing for the taxonomy. 2019 to 2020 was quite easy with only new elements added. But how can we help issuers understand what elements have been deprecated since the previous taxonomy version? How can we help them find the correct substitute in the new taxonomy? That's the other challenge we have to overcome in order to avoid a new headache for our issuers.
So as we said at the beginning, ESEF isn't fun, ESEF is an obligation, but let's do everything we can to make ESEF simpler for issuers.
Yeah, definitely. So thanks a lot for your attendance, and please feel free to contact us if you have any questions about what you have seen today or about Invoke ESEF in general.